What's up, y'all? It's Lawrence from Three Brothers and a Shot of Milk. And today I have that Batfleck, that Batman from Batman v Superman, the figure we've all been waiting for. If you're a Batman movie fan, we finally got Ben Affleck in his regular Batman suit. This video is going to be awesome. I'm going to compare him to the other Batman movie figures. Going to have him standing up next to Henry Cavill. Going to compare him to some other comic book Batman figures. It's going to be a good, bad time. Let's go. Boom. Here we are, man. Here we are. Batman. Batman from Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. And we got that really incredible logo here, man. And a poster of Batman and Superman. And yo, this movie has a lot of mixed responses, but everyone was hyped when that trailer came out, when the first look of Affleck in this suit came out, when we started seeing more of the promotional materials. Everyone was hyped for how this looked. And then the movie came out, and it got really divisive. But one thing most people agree on is, first, Affleck was amazing as Batman. And second, well, this is probably first, that this Batsuit's amazing. Second is probably Affleck's greatest Batman. But this Batsuit was amazing. It's the suit we've been waiting for in live action form. Oh my goodness, this is so sick. It is so sick. So, as I show you the comparisons down the line, you'll see that I have 3 Ben Affleck Batman figures from Mcfarlane. One was the regular release with the goggles down. The other came in the Batman movie 6-pack. And honestly, I didn't want either one of them. The first one I got because I was creating my own Batman movie display. And then I heard the 6-pack was coming out. I'm like, well, I gotta get that because of Clooney and Kilmer. But all the while, I wanted this. I wanted this guy. Not the armored up Justice League one, which was cool. But this is the one I wanted. This is the one I wanted. Oh, come on. I forgot to cut a tie, but I think I can get him. Yeah, I got him. Okay. All right. Before we get to him, will he stand without a figure stand is the question. He does. He does. So, before we get to him, let's see what he comes with. Of course, he comes with this collector's card from Batman v Superman. Let me get this bad boy out. And comes with a figure stand. Hopefully we won't need it, but this is the card. Just like what was on the back of the box, so much like the promotional material. And here's the data file. You see that in focus. And yeah, pause that if you want to read the whole thing. I think it's in focus. It's hard to tell right now. Sorry about that. Let's take a look at the figure and then we'll see the other accessories. All right, I gotta bring this up a little bit. Here we go. This is pretty excellent. I like this figure a lot. And when I first saw images, I wasn't... Some more light on him. Is that too much light? When I first saw images, I didn't want... I wasn't, I'll get my thoughts together. When I first saw images, I wasn't sure if he looked like Ben Affleck. So I was already prepared to do a head swap. to see if, you know, the other McFarlane Affleck figures matched. But honestly, I see it. I see it, especially in his profile. I see Affleck. I see him enough. Like, I'm not delusional. These aren't Hot Toys, you know. I'm not expecting for a complete, perfect representation of the film. I'm just looking for something that is kind of like inspired by it. And I see Affleck here. I'll still do a head swap, but I think I'm gonna rock with this one. And the suit looks great. The texture is awesome. And people are saying it looks a little blue to them, and maybe that's true, but to me, it looks great to me. I wouldn't change the color at all. If anything, I feel like adding another wash to this will make it darker, which may take away from the gray and the black that we've been waiting for. I don't know. I'm also not a customizer. I'm sure you guys can figure it out. But you get some really great shading here, and the texture. Oh, the texture, the wrinkles in the suit, and you see the scratches on his emblem. Ooh, hangnail. Scratches on his emblem and the gauntlets. I mean, they don't have as much color, I think, as the movie did. I think the Mattel version, which we'll do a comparison, has some gold tips on the boots. But I'm cool with this. Articulation is good. It's typical McFarlane articulation. Yeah. Can do his splits. A little stiff, but doesn't feel like it's gonna break or anything. Ooh, torso's a little tight. Okay. That's a little tight. Cape is great. Like where it connects is pretty perfect. We got a cloth cape, guys. So does that mean we're gonna get a Batman v Superman Batmobile down the line? I think McFarlane said he wants to do all of them. We got some grips on the bottom of the boots, which is pretty great. His eyes, don't know if you can actually catch that. Don't know if you can see it, but they're looking brown. I don't care about that stuff, but some of you guys do, and I don't remember if his eyes were brown or blue in the movie. Probably brown. Love the utility belt. I know it's more gold than I think it was in the movie. The movie was more dirtier. I think a wash, if you guys want to do that. But I dig this, man. Now, I have seen other reviewers talk about this, and it's kind of crazy, but how they do not finish the wash in the back. That's bananas to me. That's ridiculous to me. It's ridiculous. And I'll never pose him like this. There's no reason to. Got a little scratch back here too. But I'll never pose him like this. No reason to. But the fact that, I don't know if they cut corners or where this figure was made. They just dropped the ball. But it's kind of crazy how, I mean, it's dirty on the front and clean on the back. That's kind of whack. But I think this figure's pretty amazing. So let's stand him up, take a look at some of the accessories. Will he need a figure stand? Ugh. The answer is yes. I hate using figure stands. That's one thing, man. McFarlane, it'd be great if your figures can just balance as they should. You know? I don't feel like opening. Let's do it. I wasn't going to open the one in here just because it takes time. And I don't want to waste your poor time, but I can't find one of those pucks, so grabbing it. But yeah, I wish McFarlane figures could stand better, especially with the cloth cape. You know, he doesn't have that plastic cape weighing him down, but it is what it is. Maybe you guys have the magic sauce that I don't have. But anyway, here he goes. already very happy with this figure. Already very, very happy with this figure. Let's see his accessories. We get 2 batarangs, and they are they are thick. These are some thick batarangs right here, in the style of Batman v Superman. No texture. Let's focus. No texture to them, but they're okay. They're a great representation. They're very thick. To give you guys an idea, oh, I just dropped it. Here's the batarang that came with the Hush Batman figure. And I mean, you can see just how much bigger this one is, which I don't really care as long as it fits in his hands well. And it does. I mean, it looks a bit much, but it'll do. You get 2 of them, and he has 2 grippy hands so he can actually hold them, which is nice. You get 2 fists. You get 2 fisted hands. I'm not gonna put them on, but I'll take out one of them and you'll get the idea. Pretty great. I wish all of Mcfarlane's figures did this. Lately, we've been getting just like fisted hands on some of them. And it's like, well, what if we want them to hold something? You know? What if we bought that weapons pack? We want our figures to hold some guns. And then you get this grappling gun, which might be a bit oversized, but I dig it. Do I have? I don't have. I thought I had the Bell one close by, but I don't. But I think this is pretty cool. Let's see. How well does it go into his hands? It's a little, because of this bottom part, it takes a little work. Come on. Because this is the hand where it looks like, yeah, this hand's slightly different. I'll show it to you in a second. If I can get this in. That's what she said. Well, that's what he said. But, yeah. That looks pretty cool. More light on it. So, that works. This hand actually is a little different. This hand is made for the grappling gun. Because if you can tell, if you can see, this one, focus, has the kind of trigger hand. Whereas this one is just, oh, let me shut up. You can tell I'm like discovering this as I'm reviewing it. Because this is the same hands. Same hands. I'm having an issue focusing tonight. I apologize. Yeah, man. So let's get a look at them with some other figures. Now, we don't have a Cavill Batman v Superman. But what we do have is a Justice League Superman. And here he stands with him. Now, this is not a good representation of the movies because, if anything, the sizes should be different. Ben Affleck scaled way bigger than Cavill. Ben Affleck's a taller guy. This does not work, But which is interesting, for everywhere else in the DC Comics medium, this works perfectly because Superman should be bigger than Batman. It just so happens that Henry Cavill's not bigger than Ben Affleck. So you may hate this, but this actually would be comic accurate. So I'll let you decide. And also, this Ben Affleck Batman isn't as bulky as the movie version. You know, the movie version is heavily inspired by The Dark Knight Returns. And this, he was more husky, more built. His neck was thick, like almost like he had no neck sometimes. And this is much more of a leaner, trimmer Batman. What's interesting is I don't mind it because in the promotional material, I'll show you an image right here. There was some promotional images or concept art that showed Affleck much leaner. So I don't mind this. I don't mind this in figure form. But I would get if you guys were annoyed that he doesn't capture that shape of Affleck in the movies. Anyways, enough talking about that. Let's see him with this one. This Justice League figure, you know, this is pretty cool. And yeah, he's way too big. Way too big. Let's see how he measures up with some other Affleck Batman figures. So we have this one from Justice League. And then we have this one from Justice League, which is the movie 6-pack. Obviously, the Justice League figures resemble Affleck the best, but I don't necessarily like what the cowl did to Affleck's face in the movie. Like, it made it much more scrunched up, where I feel like his jaw in Batman v Superman felt just a little bit more square in the cowl. They went with different makers, that's the reason. But I can buy this. I mean, the head sculpts are different, but I buy it's the same guy. I definitely do. It's interesting while we're on this topic, because maybe it's not this figure's problem, but from the beginning, because this is a Justice League Henry Cavill, and he's still standing taller than the Justice League Batman. Okay, I thought that was more to do with the waves aren't in scale, but no, the figures are just off, way off. I do like the bat emblem here. This one, I feel like we're losing the ears a lot on here. Little bat ears. I like it how they did them on the Justice League figures. Better. And let's see him with the, and honestly, I like this one better than this one. I think the color here is way better than that one. I would have only collected one if I knew this was coming. This should have came in that 6-pack, that movie 6-pack. Come on. Speaking of the movie 6-pack, here's how he stands with his other Bat brothers. Now, I don't mind we got the Kilmer sonar suit. Now, if they come out with his regular Panther suit, I'm going to get it. But I don't mind that. That's how they look together. Him with Bale. Where we at? Where's Clooney? Clooney has a hard time standing up, but I don't have a figure stand for him, so bear with me. Got Clooney right here. And of course, you got Michael Keaton. Right there. So this works, man, and it's pretty amazing how Ben Affleck, being in that classic kind of comic gray black color scheme, he stands out. Like, this dude kind of with his gear blends into the six pack really well, but he stands out. But it doesn't matter because I'm definitely in my display, he's gonna be with the movie Batman. And honestly, I don't even have Keaton with the movie Batman. Not this Keaton anyway, because he stands with the Batmobile. I use the Flash Keaton to be in the movie six pack display. So yeah, man, that's how they stand together. This is just really cool. Just motorcycle armor, all decked out. And then kind of back to the, oh, I'm so tripping. How'd I forget? How did I forget to throw Pattinson in there? And that's nothing against Pattinson. I actually loved the Batman. I loved the Batman. And this is pretty interesting, right? Because he came right before him. So it's almost like we had a departure from this kind of realistic armored approach and got back to more comic booky and then got back to the realistic armored approach. So I'm really glad we were able to get this in the movies, because who knows if that never happened, if we would ever get this kind of thing. And I'm not mad at the armored realistic bat suit approach, but it's nice to get a little comic booky. And they didn't say, there was a suit of armor that looked like muscle under this cloth. They showed the suit in the Batcave and it had muscle. So I'm not saying he didn't have armor. He just made it to look more aesthetic, more like he actually is bulletproof, which is closer to the idea of, where'd you go? This bat suit. Remember in the movie, they thought he couldn't be killed because they thought they were shooting a man, but in reality, it was a man covered in armor. And yes, Michael Keaton is standing taller than Ben Affleck. And for those of you who have that Mattel figure, this is the Mattel figure from back in the day. The only retail type of Batfleck figure that we got. And not bad. There's some real cool texture, on his cowl that you can see. And the suit's basically gray, no shading. The belt is kind of cool, much darker. Great articulation, as a matter of fact. And as you can see, that's what I was talking about, his boots have that kind of gold tips. And his gloves do too, if you can make that out on his knuckles. So this has detail, and his bat, I would say his bat emblem, can you see it more light? It's just a little better, actually. But I mean, I don't think there's a true comparison between these figures. And I understand people are upset at Mcfarlane for upping the prices on some of their figures. Talking about you. But I will say this, and correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he about 20 something bucks back in the day? 18, 20 something bucks? He wasn't $7. So there's what, a $4, $3.99 difference between these two figures? And you're telling me there should be? So, I don't know. I'm not tripping about some of the other prices. This was not a $40 figure, but I just want people to put things in perspective that, adjusting for inflation, I guess, these two figures were like the same price. I don't know. If I got it wrong, let me know in the comment section. Now, a big thing that I really do, oh, before I get to that, I got two things to get to before I get to that. Scaling purposes, if you want to know how big he is, he's shorter than Hush Batman, but they're both big figures. They're both pretty big. And let's do this head swap. Hopefully it's pretty easy. But here we go. That actually doesn't look too bad. Let me get you standing up straight. That doesn't look too bad. What do you guys think? There's more of a space. No, that looks good. Now I'm torn. I'm torn. I don't know if I'm going to keep the original head sculpt or keep Batfleck on here. I mean, Justice League Batfleck. Let me know. What do you guys think? And I think if you get a shorter neck peg, you can get that neck look that some of you guys want. Oh man, this is looking good. Wow. Okay, let me bring him back to how he's supposed to look for the rest of this video, but he might get displayed like this. Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. Let's pop the head back on that he came with. Now, I'm all about creating your own definitive kind of movie displays. You do what you want with your figures and enjoy them how you want to enjoy them. So if Ben Affleck is your favorite Batman, right? But Heath Ledger is your favorite Joker, I mean, why the heck not? Why the heck not make this kind of display? Just mix and match. It all works. And if Zoe Kravitz is your favorite Catwoman, why the heck not? Why not? And just mix them all up. If Paul Dano is your favorite Riddler, it all works, man. You can have a really dope display using different, versions of these characters. It's yours, And if Ben Affleck is your favorite Batman and you want to throw him on a bat cycle, tell me that don't work. Tell me that don't work. I'm going to spare you from... Nah, I'm not going to spare you. He sits on there fine. I'm pretty sure he has the grippy hands so you can make it work. His head may not be able to... Oh, and his head can go up. You got a cloth cape. Yo, you can give him that Pattinson bat cycle, which I love. I love. How do you guys feel about that bat pod that comes with Catwoman and Hathaway? That price point. Now that's a bit much for me. I'm not the biggest fan of the bat pod, but I feel like it's not as cool looking as this or as detailed. Correct me if I'm wrong for the people that got the Bat Pod. Is the color and the shading as detailed as this bad boy? I don't know. Let me know. But yeah, if this is your favorite Bat Cycle and this is your favorite Batman, the display is what you want it to be. Like, if this is your favorite Batman, but that Keaton is your favorite Batmobile, why the heck not? Why the heck not? Barely have enough space, you know? And since he's got that cloth cape, and shorter ears, will he get in there is the question. Hold on one second. So basically what I'm saying is you can create like a really cool display using your favorite types of figures, you know? He's a little bulkier, I think. I'm having a harder time getting him in. Okay, here we go. Here we go. His torso is a little weird. His torso is a little weird. His ab crunch, like I can't get him. Oh, here we go. I don't want to force it. And I'm sure if I took more time, I can get him in. But like, I think his torso's weird. So I can't get him to scrunch low enough for his ears to get under. Maybe I'm making a mess. For you guys who give it a shot, give it a shot. But this is dope. Just, you know. Ugh. Yeah. He's having a hard time getting in there. But that's fun for me. Just to like mix these really cool items together. What if Affleck had Keaton's car, and what if Bale had Pattinson's motorcycle? And, you know, when they drop the tumbler, how cool is it going to be to, like, have George Clooney pop out of the tumbler, having no business being in the tumbler? But, if you couldn't tell, I'm really digging this figure. Cape's wingspan is about the same as the other figures. And the material is just like the rest of the Batman movie six-pack. I guess the other Batman cloth capes. I love this figure. Let me know in the comments section, should I keep the head as is? Or should I color it up? You know? I mean, it's just really fun. Really fun. Just the being trapped on different worlds. Now I'm just playing. You just watch me play on my toys. You know? You wanted this Batman. Can you imagine? He encounters a world where his Dick Grayson's alive and it's like not his, but I think that's pretty cool. Batman and Robin. Display him how you want. Why do you have nipples? Where are your nipples? Do what you want to do, man. Do what you want to do. Ugh. is not a Build-A-Figure review. This is getting a little wonky. But like, okay, imagine Arnold. I'm not gonna deal with this right now. Anyway, I'm having way too much fun here. This is Batfleck as Batman. Make sure you like, make sure you comment. Let me know your thoughts on this guy. Are you getting him? Is he a keeper for you? Are you passing up on him? What do you think about this dude? Does he work with the movie six-pack, or should I have him stand on its own? Anyway, I'm talking too much. Make sure you like, subscribe. Like I said, leave a comment. And yeah, I'm out. I'll see you same bat time, same bat channel. Peace.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Three Brothers and a Shot of Milk.